Eagle Eye Reports, a closer look at life at Maple River. High school can be hard enough, but when you have to balance academics along with an activity, students have to learn important skills to avoid falling. First, let's discover how much time is needed for activities.
For volleyball, we had like 2 to 3 games a week, so it would be 2 to 3 game nights and then practices. The school day is usually normal. Like I try to focus on my schoolwork, like in school, and then after school switch to the sport. With homework on game days, if I do have homework, I try to get that done before the game, so then I don't have to worry about it at all. And like coming home late, that's not what I want to really be doing.
So yeah, definitely. So when we get football, we just wake up by like an hour before school, get to school, go to school, have the school day, obviously. And then after school, we get 20 minutes before practice, then practice starts. And then we practice till around 5:30. Then after that, it takes 30 minutes to like shower and get home. And then eat supper, usually relax a little bit, maybe do like 30 minutes of homework during the week. And then Thursdays is usually a shorter practice. And then a lot of because there's other sports going on, we usually go to watch that. So then there's not a lot of work time during the school week. So then we'll have our game on Friday, and then I end up getting home on the weekend. That's where I usually do the most of my homework, just during the weekend.
It was a little less this year because we played so many before our season started, but last year was probably 2 to 3, and probably same with this year.
Well, pretty much every day except for like Wednesday is usually the same because we have school from like 8:05 to 3 o'clock, and then we get down here. Practice typically starts at 3:30. Recently, with run-throughs and costumes and everything, we've been starting a little bit later, but we all get down here by 3:30. But that's basically Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. We go from 3:30, 5:30. We take a break for supper, and then we come back at 6:30, and then we go to 8 or 8:30.
So usually, you get up in the morning, you go to your school day, and then after school, we start practice at about 3:15. And we'll do our warm-up about a half mile or so and do our stretches. And then we'll have some type of workout that we do, or 400s or some kind of workout. Then we'll do a cool down and usually come back in and stretch. And by that time, it's usually 4:45, and we'll do some core and end it there usually. And then we usually have 1 to 2 meets a week. So those will usually on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We'll have our meets, and then I usually try to run on the weekend and then also have a rest day. So.
An activity can also be a burden for coaches. Let's hear how teachers are impacted.
So, you have the 2.5 hour practices, you have matches that go forever long, they get done at about 8, then you have drive time. I'd say we're spending 15, 20 hours a week just on that alone, and then you have school on top of that.
Well, it does mean that most days of the work I'm go, because I'll start giving lessons at 7:45, and then I'll teach, and then I'll give lessons from 3 to 3:30, and then I go right into rehearsal at 3:30. And we typically run 2 rehearsals, so very often we're here till about 8:30 at night. And then on the weekends, we rehearse on Saturdays, usually from 9 to noon, so we're in here working on that. And then outside of rehearsal, I'm working on background things like putting the program together, putting the rehearsal schedules together, working with our drama club to organize meals for our kids, and just things like that.
Obviously, finding time for homework is also important.
Well, I make sure I have a study hall each trimester, and I try to get my work done there, so I rarely have homework. Or if I have time in other classes, I just do it then. So I don't like to bring stuff home, so.
I just try to get done as much as I can in school. I know a lot of people don't try to, but they end up wasting some time. My goal is to just use it all as possible as in school, and then get the rest done outside of school that I need to.
Well, I always make sure to get most of my work done in class because our teachers are really good at giving us work time. But if I have to do something outside of class, I normally try to get it done before drama starts, during our breaks, or when I get home from school. And then also Wednesdays when we don't have drama, then that's typically my day to do homework.
So my schedule, I usually try to get as much work as I've done in an hour as I can. This trimester, I'm fortunate to have a study hall, so that's been nice to utilize my time there and get as much done, and really just use your work time wisely, and don't be a distraction, or don't procrastinate.
So, are there any tricks to dealing with academics and activities? Like doing homework on the bus?
No, that's kind of worthless. You can't really do anything on the bus. It's loud, and
Bus rides, I would say, are pretty difficult to, sometimes I try to, but there's just lots of distractions, hard to look down when you're driving and stuff. So I usually don't do anything on the bus unless I have to, but say the C Squad or something is playing, then I can get some work done.
In a typical season, we would most likely be leaving early for a match in a week, but we just tell our teachers that we're leaving early, and we'll make up any work if we have to. Otherwise, if I have any homework, I usually just do it at night. I don't ever bring it with me because I can't really focus.
So is there any chance, just listening to all the chaos that was in here, is there any chance of actually getting productive work done during a drama practice?
You have to know the right place and the right time.
Okay.
So I always know October is going to be a rough month. It's going to be, I feel like I see my kids at school less than I see my tennis girls, just because for tennis, your events are during the day. And so that first week, the 8th graders go to Eagle Bluff, so I really use that hour of Eagle Bluff time for those 3 days to prep the whole next month, so that way everything's taken care of.
So I try to do a lot of work before we start rehearsals, getting my things down really well. One thing I do is I spend Sundays cooking for the entire week, so I don't have to think about meals the whole week, because we usually end up eating here at the school. And then I just make a very, very conscious decision to turn it off when I get home. And when I'm at home, I'm focusing on rest, recovery, my house, things like that.
So do our seniors have any advice for getting through all of this stress?
I would say don't let school hold you back. Teachers are forgiving and they let you make stuff up, and go to everything you can.
I'd say definitely try not to procrastinate. That'd be the biggest thing. And then, yeah, just utilize your weekends for homework if you have any extra stuff.
Don't take on more than you can chew. That's definitely something that I've had problems with before. Just having bigger roles, but not quite understanding and not having developed study habits. So just being able to find that balance between doing academics and then doing drama.
I mean, it's definitely stressful, and it's okay to feel stressed about it. I mean, your junior year is really tough, so, and that's when you're starting to get to that varsity level for most people too, so it's a lot to balance, so it's okay to be stressed out. And I would say to just try and separate the two, so when you're in school, really try to get your work done so you don't have to worry about it after school. And then after school, you can really focus on practice or game, whatever you have. I've learned that I can handle it, which is good for later in life. There's gonna be stressful times, so I know that I can handle it. And I think it's just good practice for, there's gonna be so many different things going on when I'm older with my own family and stuff like that. So just knowing, or just having that practice for later on is good.
I told you, you gotta use your time wisely.